is discipline, mind pillar. Take me higher tonight. Do it all, we're chasing the light. Crypto dreams and neon skies. We rise again, we never die.
Alright, legends, welcome to another live stream. Remember, I have to start off with the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm simply sharing with you how I approach the markets from an entertainment and educational perspective. Let's say hi to the community as we start off this live stream. Welcome. Remember to smash up that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, this is where I do pure technical analysis and scratch my dollars from the market. I'm simply sharing with you how I approach the markets. Okay, you need to execute your own plan at the end of the day, right? You are in charge of your own finances. Okay, right, legends, yesterday was an interesting day inside of the community, but before we get into what is up, what can we expect next, got the bounce from the naked point of control. We can talk about that. Let me first say hi to the community. Rich Thai, welcome to the live stream. Love from India, welcome. Mr. Wayne, always great to see you here. Afternoon, Devilton Legends, sub Devilton Legends, Market M, welcome, welcome. Considering 100x long in the next 20 seconds. Whew, execute your plan. That's nothing wrong with that if you just execute your plan. Smash the like button. Yes, Mr. A Trader, welcome. Much love. Hello, Devilton Legends. I hope you guys are having a great day. Mr. Willifeed, welcome to the live stream. God bless A Trader. God bless everyone. Legend is here. Yes, let's do some technical analysis here together. Devil, can you, brother, follow me for a few days? So, yeah, my own soundtrack. My brother makes some amazing music for me so that I don't get copyright strikes here on YouTube, because if I play music here from iTunes or SoundCloud, then I will get a copyright strike. So my brother makes the music for me that plays here in the background, and also the intro songs. Pay yourself, peeps. Such an important thing. Pay yourself. For those of you that did take the trade that I highlighted yesterday in the community, congratulations. Maybe you left a runner. Hopefully you left a runner. Okay, I didn't leave a runner. I was happy with the profits, and I'll share the trade that I shared yesterday in the community. I opened and I closed with some nice profits, so I was very happy about that trade. Amen to you. Okay, good morning from Australia. Rico, welcome to the live stream. Russ, always great to see you. Yeah, hi, Devil, all lovely legends. Okay, just got into Sol short. There's a chance for a little bit of a rejection. We're going to analyze that on the smaller time frames. But first, I want to start with some higher time frame analysis. This pump ain't sustainable, or is it? That is the question, right? That is the question. Okay. And I suppose the bigger question, or the most important question, is, are you executing according to a plan? Did you enter according to a plan? Did you place your stop loss according to your plan? And are you taking profits according to your plan? Okay, that's the most important question. Because FOMOing into a trade, that's not a plan. That's just FOMO at the end of the day. Okay, you might get lucky a couple of times, but you're going to have sleepless nights, okay? Love from Sri Lanka. Welcome, welcome. From Indonesia. I've got people here from all over the world. Welcome, guys. Hi, Devil. Time to short again. Yes, I am looking for a short. Okay. Ooh, another 50 memberships just sent by UAE 87. If I recall, you also sent some memberships the last time. So thank you so much. I think the community appreciates that. Greetings from Palma. I have no idea where that is. I'll have to go and Google that after the live stream. You're amazing, Devil. Can listen to you all day. Thank you so much. Devil, so happy to see you again. I'm also happy to be here. Okay, I'm just waiting for... all the memberships to get allocated here from YouTube. All the way from Spain. Welcome, welcome. Mr. Andy is also in Spain. Right, hi. Received memberships. Okay, while the memberships goes through, let's do some technical analysis. Okay, right, legends, is the low in? That is the question. Okay, everyone is talking about, I see some people at least are talking about the low being in, and it's only up from here. I must say, I would be very surprised if that happens. Can it happen? Yes, there's a possibility. Okay, but I would be very surprised for price to turn around here and just start a bull market again. Okay, and purely from a technical perspective, when I take time into consideration from the low to the high of the structure, you can see there's a little bit of a problem from a timing perspective. Can price turn around and shoot up? Then I will have to give priority to a larger three-wave structure. Okay, but there's a high chance that the low will be taken again at some point. It might take weeks, it might take months, it might happen next week. I don't know what's going to happen, but there's still an increased probability to take this low again, purely from a timing perspective. Okay, if you do not know the time FIP, because I know most of the people here inside of the live stream know exactly how I consider time as part of my technical analysis. And guys, I'm going to be here for a little while, so let's relax. I know some people are looking for trading opportunities while price is pushing here to the upside. I just want to see something here. Okay, let me do this. Right, just sorting out some technical stuff here in the background, guys. Okay, let's go and look at, just for an example, let's look at the previous bull cycle. Okay, I'm going to go to the log scale so I can see the pivots very clearly. Okay, if I look at the previous bull cycle and I do the exact same thing from the low to the high of the structure, it's more or less there. Okay, can you see that from the low to the high of the previous bull cycle, The low was made after the 0.382. And then we can go back. Oh, I might have to use the index chart for this. Let me open up a new chart. Where's Mr. Index? Let's open up that quickly here. That's the CME. That's the index. Here we go. Let's go to the daily. Let's go to the 3-day chart. That's going to be easier. Okay. Right. Let's go to log scale so we can see the price action clearly. Okay. Now we have a lot to work with over here. So that was basically the example that I've just shown you, is from the low to the high. The low was made after the 0.382. Okay, after the 0.382. Then we take the previous cycle. Oh, it actually looks here on the log scale, it looks like this was all part of the same cycle. But let's do this again. From the low to the high of the structure, the low was made after the 0.382. Okay, let's do the previous one. From the low to the high. Whoops. Let's try that again. From the... Guys, and this is basically backtesting. This is how you backtest data. Okay. The low was made after the 0.382. Okay, this is just an absolute mess because, you know, this was still the early days, so you get a lot of noise. Okay, but also from the low to the high, the low was made after the 0.382. Okay, so now when I bring this back to where price is at the moment, I'll just take this out the way. Now you tell me what the probabilities and the odds are. From the low, which was on 21 November 2022, to the high. Well, it's still a little bit, it's far away. So I suppose you agree, okay? The 0.382 is on the 9th of November this year. So yes, guys, you can, obviously, you get relief rallies during a bear cycle. That is obvious, okay? Which we've seen during the previous bear run. You get a drop, you get a correction. You get a drop, correction, drop, correction. Okay? And maybe we are here. And what we're experiencing right now it could be this little relief rally, and then you get another final drop to the downside, finishing after the 0.382. Okay, when previous bull cycle, just to put it into perspective again for everyone, okay, finished at the 0.618. Let me just clean up the scribble here. Okay, there we go. When was that low made? After the 0.618. So if history is going to repeat itself, regardless of whether price is going up or down, but you expect a fresh low to be made, if history is going to repeat, you expect a fresh low to be made in a year from now. That is insane. That is insane. Okay, if history is going to repeat what happened in the previous bull cycle. Okay, but the minimum requirement is the 0.382 from a timing perspective. Right. What is also interesting, okay, I don't need these boxes anymore. Right. What is also interesting, if I bring fear and greed into the picture, basically this chart over here. During the previous bull cycle, and I saw someone talk about this inside of his video updates as well, okay? When that low was made, price was in extreme fear below 10. Price made another low, but price was still in extreme fear territory, but it was higher. Can you guys see? It was higher, lower. And now, for the moment, price has gone here into extreme fear. It's making a lower low, but it's going higher. So there's some telltale signs that a reversal could be close, but perhaps with one more drop. Because fear and greed can still go higher. It still stays within the extreme fear phase. Price maybe does this and it makes one more drop. Okay, and then it gets the relief rally back to the upside, forms that beautiful trend, and then maybe it breaks out over there. That could be a little bit of a fake out over there, because what I have seen is price loves to fake out. Okay, just keep it simple. Trend line momentum, there's already been a fake out. Okay, maybe the next breakout. Okay, but this is the log scale, by the way, guys. I think the picture will look a little bit different on the regular scale. Let's just go back here to the regular scale. Okay, it would be normal to see a fake out, and then it breaks down, trend gets adjusted, and then the true breakout happens. Anyways, that's just a little bit of trend line analysis. But could the bottom be close? But that is considering that is the low, and this is the high, and the 4-year cycle theory is still intact. Okay, but from a timing perspective, it doesn't make sense for this to be the low. Yes, price can get a larger relief rally back to the upside, then make a fresh low, and then continue. That makes more sense from a timing perspective. Okay, usually here on the higher time frame, okay, each impulse has a correction, and each impulse, the correction finishes after the 0.382. Okay, I'm just trying to drive the point home. If this is the impulse and that is the correction, you can see the correction finished after the 0.382. Impulse, okay, another one. Impulse, that was the low. Impulse, correction, finished after the 0.382. Impulse correction after the 0.382. So what are the odds of price turning around here and starting a new bull cycle? Because I see this is now what some people are talking about. The low is in and the bull cycle is starting. Can it happen? Yes. Time is never an invalidation, but based on back testing for each impulsive structure to the upside, every single low, 99% of every single low from the corrective perspective was made after the minimum requirement, which is the 0.382. So yes, guys, I would not get too super bullish too soon. Okay, and it's just based on technical analysis. Remember, guys, I'm just, sharing with you how I approach the markets. If that had to happen and Bitcoin shoots to $250,000, $200,000 from here, then this is going to be one for the history books. Okay, because it has not happened before. Right, but it's not just, it's never happened to Bitcoin before. Commodities, gold, silver, they all use the same principle. Impulse correction finishes after the 0.382. At least. It can be longer. Preferably you see a 1-to-1 extension, but we've seen, with bullish assets, to get a 1-to-1 extension on such a big move doesn't usually happen. Okay. In those little pumps, yes, you see 1-to-1 extensions quite often. Okay, so I know I'm going to get to the smaller time frame, guys, and I'm just doing a little bit of higher time frame analysis, because the reason I want to talk about it is because I see some people are calling for the low to be in. That's it. It's not going lower. All I want to highlight from a timing perspective, it doesn't make sense. Okay, and you can go and backtest this yourself. If you want to see these, okay, because if you're on the regular chart, you can see like the waves are very small. Just go to the log scale, okay? Just go to the log scale. That puts the price action into perspective, and you can see the pivots very clearly. You can even see with this impulse correction, 0.382 most probably got smacked It actually went past the one-to-one extension. Now that's what you want to see. Okay. Right, let's get back here onto the Binance chart. Okay. Right. And maybe before I continue, let's go through some comments. From Florida, welcome to the live stream, Kevin. Great to see you here. He is describing scenario. Rick, you're feeling okay, buddy? What is Rick doing? No one says the low is in. Well, maybe you're not following the people that I'm following. There's some people on YouTube, influencers, that are claiming the low is in. Okay. And this is why I'm talking about it today, because I see people are talking about the low being in. So all I'm trying to highlight from a technical perspective, it doesn't make sense. If it happens, because nothing's ever guaranteed in the market, it will be one for the history books. Right. Low or relief rally in July. Yes, not cycle low, lol. Yes, definitely not cycle. That's the word. Tankista. Thank you so much. That's the word that I'm looking for. There's a low probability that it's the cycle low for this momentum here to the downside. That's the word, cycle low. Okay. Cycle high made sense. In hindsight, cycle high, although the pi cycle indicator did not flash because it was such a boring bull market to the upside. You all remember what happened to altcoins. I was waiting for that pi cycle indicator to flash. Anyways, structure finished in a three-wave structure to the upside. Very confusing. But it respected the 4-year cycle theory from the low to the high. Okay. Was more or less 3 years, respecting the 4-year cycle theory from the halving to the, you guys know what I mean. Okay, I need to actually plot those things again on my new index chart, because I see the cycle theories that I had drawn out, that index chart stopped working. So I need to go and plot those things out, the winters, the summers, the autumns, and you guys can see exactly what I mean. Right, so now, from a daily time frame perspective, relief rallies are in order, but I have to highlight, okay, that the momentum is still to the downside. You have momentum down and 3 waves up, momentum down and 3 waves up, momentum down, 3 waves up. Now you had momentum down, this can form 3 waves up and fall again, okay? But the one thing that I have noticed, just want to go back to the regular scale, is that the drops are getting smaller. Okay, you have a drop 3 wave, you have a drop larger 3 wave, you have a drop, so you could get now a larger 3 wave, and then maybe just a drop that claims the lows again, because it looks like every drop is getting a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller. So just keeping it simple, guys. I have not touched on Elliott wave theory, where all the wheels fall off and people are like, why are you trying to teach us our ABCs and how to count to 5? I have not even gone into Elliott wave theory yet. Okay, I'm just trying to keep it simple, using fear and greed, okay, from a timing perspective. So maybe, just maybe, this is now the sign of a little relief rally back to the upside. But there's always the chance to claim that low again and move up. And that's what I want to discuss here in the smaller time frames. Okay, so now, while I'm still here on the higher time frame, do you guys remember the scenario, okay, that I've discussed? Just want to take that bars pattern there out the way. Right, where price has formed an ABC and a W, a 3-wave structure and an X, and this could be an A, a B, and a C to the downside. Definitely still a possibility. Right, that is still one scenario that I am keeping in mind. You can also count it a little bit differently, but the result is the same. You could also say, on the higher time frame, that this is a, this is a B, and it's now creating a C to the downside. Larger 3-wave structure. The problem is still time. You can see that even if price drops here and it finishes an A, B, whoops, where's my pen? A, B, C, the problem is still time. So ideally, what needs to happen is price needs to move sideways so that it can eat up time. Okay, because in the ABC, WXY to the downside, you can see that there's, if this is a WXY, ABC, the problem is still time. There's your problem. So what could potentially happen here is that price forms a larger B wave, and then it creates that final flush to the downside. Now that looks interesting, okay, because this scenario caters for time. Oh, sorry guys, let me just read. I just want to get the time back here. Okay, and let me switch this off. No, oh, that time thing is inside of this. Right. So price can basically form a larger three-wave structure to complete the B, then go back down for a C, which finishes after the 0.382. So there's a chance that this little bounce here can go and take that high. There's a chance. And a good chance, I might add. Okay. Right, so that's a little bit of higher time frame analysis that I wanted to discuss over there. Is just to show everyone that price needs to go sideways, form a longer corrective structure to finish after the 0.382, which is end of this year, basically. That's when you want to see the cycle low potentially being done. Okay, it's never been spot on where exactly 12 months the low is going to be in since the top over here. Okay, it can be a month before, it can be a month after, or even 2 months after or 2 months before. We don't know what's going to happen, but at least, okay, I want to see the low being made after the 0.382. Right, now let's go here to the 4-hour time frame and analyze this potential structure that is forming over here. But before I do, just want to see what the community are chatting about. Anyone in a short? The soul short looking scary. Legends, love how you did that with the fibs. Nice. Absolute pleasure, man. It's just pure technical analysis, but I don't see a lot of people talk about time Fibonacci. And that's why I like to use time Fibonacci, because it served me well from a trading perspective. When I see an impulse up, okay, and I'm looking to long the correction, but the correction is not after the 0.382, that's where I wait. And then when that low forms after the 0.382, that's where I get interested, very interested. And it served me well from a day trading perspective. Okay, oh, thanks. Info take 25% on bit. Mohammed, sorry. Okay, minimum first. You have major news at 8:30. Will we have smaller time frame? Let me go check that out. Right, guys, remember, if you would like to join the community, send me the word access. Andy is spending some time inside of the community, doing some analysis, sharing some what he sees in the chart. You can send me the word access to my Telegram, and I'll send you the instructions on how you can join. So, high impact news. Today at 4:30. Yeah, that is in 15 minutes from now, more or less 15 minutes from now. Non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, what can we expect? And let's see. Okay, let's first do some lower time frame analysis, and then I'll jump back into the larger structures. Okay, can we analyze Solana? Yes, we can analyze Solana. I've got Hype, I've got XRP, I've got the DXY, I've got USDT dominance. You guys can see there's still a lot that I want to talk about. Okay, so we're going to analyze all of that. Paz Maria, thank you so much for joining the stream. Always great to see you here. Positive energy inside of our community as well. Maria, I'm sure you took that trade, okay, that we've been speaking about for long. right? But there was also another way to get in. Mr. Mark Dutch, welcome to the stream. Skipping my comment, guys. My man, if you compare the boring bull market just before COVID crash, the bear market, COVID crash, that really short time, this feels a bit similar, boring, but market and fast bear rather than long bear. Yes, but from a timing perspective, it still doesn't make sense. So, per O-Tech, okay, from a timing perspective, it still doesn't make sense. I'm not sure if you joined from the beginning of the live stream, because I'm not going to go through all of this again. Okay, so perhaps what price does not have to make a new low as long as the correction finishes after the 0.382. So price could literally chop sideways, 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 maybe do one flush and then continue back to the upside. So it doesn't have to do that. Price could literally go sideways, do one more flash to finish after the 0.382, but from a timing perspective, okay, based on the back testing, it wouldn't make sense for the low to be in right now. Okay, so I'm not going to hammer on that fact again. Guys, if you feel offended because I'm skipping your comment, I'm not doing it on purpose. Sorry, okay? It's just there's a lot of comments coming in, and I'm reading the one that catches my attention. I'm never purposefully ignoring someone's comment. Okay, right, let's get here into the 15-minute time frame. Let's do a little bit of technical analysis here. And, well, what can I say? Okay, we've been talking about, I have spoken, Andy have spoken. We've been speaking about the monthly naked point of control. Yes, I thought that price could go a little bit deeper, but it didn't. Okay, in my last live stream, I said, guys, that is where I will place a limit order for a swing trade based on the ending diagonal. I see some of the legends did jump into this long successfully. I missed it because this was 3 o'clock in the morning while I was sleeping. I missed it. But I did get in. I did get in, and I shared that yesterday in the community. I was just like, this is going to continue, and that is the low. I don't want to miss out on the move to the upside. Okay, but I literally treated it as a day trade. I got in and I took my profits. Okay, and now I'm looking for a new trade. Right, so for those of you that did get in here, we've been speaking about it in the community on the live streams. We've been speaking about this level. Yes, there was more levels to the downside as well. That daily level, for example, I was waiting for that daily level as well. But then this happened while I was sleeping. But I found another way to get in. And that I shared yesterday in the community. If you want to be part of the community to not miss out, okay, send me the word access. There's my Telegram over there, and I'll send you the instructions on how you can join. Remember, it's for free. You can open up an account with one of these exchanges, exchange partners down below. Make a minimum deposit of $500. That's your money to trade with. And send me the word access on Telegram, and I'll send you the instructions on how you can get in and get 2 months for free. Okay. So now we need to talk about, well, what is cooking here with this structure now currently here to the upside. So let's first talk about is spot driven. Lol, I SFP'd the previous level and went to sleep. Okay, Solana rolling over. We're going to go and look at Sol. Do I have Sol? I was looking at Sol, yes. Okay, I think I changed this one. Let me just get that back on the chart so I don't forget to talk about it. Sol is heading into resistance. Solana is heading into resistance. Okay, can it still get upwards momentum? We're going to go and analyze that in a second, guys. But I am tracking the momentum here to the upside for Solana. Right? If you have a plan to short this, then execute your plan. Okay, I don't have a plan to short Solana, right over here, because I don't trade altcoin. I do 99% of my trading is done on Bitcoin. I don't have to trade anything else. because I make a lot of money trading Bitcoin. I'm a day trader. I get in and I get out. I scratch my dollars from the market. Okay, but if you do enjoy trading Solana, Hype, I see there's people enjoying trading Ethereum, Hype, Solana, okay, then, just execute your plan, right? If you think it's going to reject according to your plan, then execute your trade. I can't tell you what to do. Right, guys, so now let's analyze this little structure. And I first want to talk about the bearish case scenario, because there's a chance that, okay, if I go onto the daily time frame, just want to show you guys this, okay, because I have spoken about this in the last live stream as well, is that I can now see a 5-wave structure to the downside. Remember when I showed you guys this? If you don't know how to count Elliott waves and you're struggling, go zoom out onto the larger time frames. I can see a move down and a move up, 1, 2. I can see another move down, 3. Correction in a 4 and another leg to the downside for 5. So I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that is potentially finished at the moment. Okay, after a 5-wave move is done, you at a bare minimum want to see a 3-wave corrective structure. Resistance. Can you guys see the resistance? Perhaps that is the area where a nice little short will be in order, because after a 5-wave move, the danger about a 5-wave move and a 3-wave move up is always continuation back to the downside to claim the low. Okay, because we all know how 3-wave moves to the upside has played out so far. Okay, so the interesting thing from a timing perspective, I would say that it's not time yet for the correction to be done. Again, I consider time. Ideally, if price is going to roll over and not claim the high, if price is going to roll over and not claim this high at $67,000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, you can see that it's not time for the correction to be done. So if price pushes up here, okay, and it starts falling down, it's not time for the correction to be done. You at least want to see a larger 3-wave structure that finishes after the 0.382, perhaps rejecting inside of this resistance area at $63,000, $64,000, $63,000 to $65,000. And then it could fall down. Okay, so let's get back here into the 15-minute time frame. And the bearish case scenario that I basically wanted to discuss is to say that, well, okay, it doesn't carry the highest probability, but I need to speak about it, and we need to be, well, I need to be aware of it. I can only speak about myself. Okay, price has formed a 1, 2, 3, and this could be a 4, and it still makes another 5th wave here to the downside. Okay, and this is part of a 3-wave corrective structure, and it still makes another low. For the bulls to gain probabilities that the low is in, I want to see overlap. I want to see overlap between wave 1 and this structure that's moving here to the upside. I want to see overlap, because that will invalidate a 4th wave. Because remember, in an impulse, wave 4, okay, this structure here is not allowed to overlap with wave 1 if you're still expecting another 5th wave to the downside. So for the bulls, they want to claim, let me use a line and a magnet. Let's snap it on perfectly, right? The bulls needs to claim $62,205 here on the Binance chart. And as long as this level is not claimed, price can still roll over and claim the lows. And then it goes again into that conversation where I was looking at those levels to the downside. You still have daily levels. There's still a lot of levels to the downside. There's a weekly level, daily level. And I mean, if I go and switch on point of controls, there's some point of controls there to the downside as well, where I'll be looking for basically what happened with this level over here. Okay, for those of you that were in the stream, you remember we caught that long, or I caught that long. Sorry, I can only talk about myself. Okay, at a daily level, beautiful daily level. So that happened here with the monthly level. There's the monthly level. And I will be looking for that at the next levels here to the downside, if the scenario had to play out. Okay, just want to clean up the chart. Remember to smash up that like button if you haven't done so already. Okay, just sharing with you how I approach the markets from a technical perspective, education, entertainment, however you want to view it. And so the most important level for the bulls is to get overlap. The bulls wants to see overlap. Because remember, in Elliott wave theory, in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in an impulsive structure, this structure is not allowed to overlap with that structure. If it does overlap, then you have to consider diagonals. Okay, but then it has to be contracting, which is more common, is a contracting diagonal. So if I go here onto the 1 hour time frame and I say, well, if this is, okay, let me draw it out. So, sorry guys, I'm being lazy. Okay, I'm being lazy. If this is your 1, your 2, your 3, and if there is overlap and it's still going to form this little fifth wave to the downside, you can see that there's a little bit of a problem. You have an expanding structure. Can you guys see the trumpet that it's forming? It's expanding, which is incredibly rare, especially here on the higher time frame. Okay. Right. So I would then say that there's a higher chance that the low is in if this price action can claim that low. I would say there's a higher chance that the low is in, and retracements would look very interesting for longing opportunities to join the move to the upside that could go and eat the highs at $67,000, $68,000. Okay, so bearish case scenario is that this is a 1, 2, 3. It's an ABC flat. It does not claim this level, and it falls down in another fifth wave where I'll be looking for that long. So maybe there's another chance to get into this long. Okay, because that was a sneaky little dip, claim the low, get momentum back to the upside, but it is at the monthly naked point of control that we have been that I have been talking about here inside of the live streams. Okay, so now this zone becomes an interesting shorting zone for me, because I know, okay, the bears are going to defend this level. Okay, so this is a very interesting shorting zone for me at the moment. Right. So now I need to go back to the 15-minute time frame, and then obviously what is forming here to the upside. Can it continue? Is it only the start? Well, I can only analyze based on what I'm seeing at the moment. Can this happen? Yes. I can only analyze based on the structure that I see at the moment. And there's a couple of ways in which you can analyze the structure. Wave 1, 2. Beautiful three-wave structure in a wave 2. That is also where I highlighted the long yesterday. I'll get into that in a second. Okay, this could be 3, 4, and 5. Impulse done. Okay, and then this is part of a corrective structure. You have A, this is B, and it goes down for C. Where there, I'm then looking for a longing opportunity to join the momentum back to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC, doesn't matter, because this could also be an A, B, but I don't want to create confusion, guys. If I talk about ABCs, what can happen? Basically, this can be an impulsive structure, and this can be part of the corrective structure, okay, which is now an A, three-wave structure, and a B, and it goes down for a C, where this becomes an interesting longing opportunity. Okay. Then, how else? This could also still be part of wave 5, and then this is 4. This is 3. Okay. There's no overlap between 1 and 4. But I think I just want to do a fib pool here quick. I don't think it tapped the 0.618. No, it didn't. Okay, so this could now still be part of the fifth wave here to the upside. Right. There's unfortunately a number of ways in which you can count this. Okay. I just want to see something else. This will be sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. Okay. But it overlapped. It can be. Okay. Just trying to figure out something here if I take that out. I'm just trying to figure out what if this is wave 1, 2, A, B, C, and now this is the start of a new larger structure here to the upside. Okay, but then I have to consider contracting diagonals. Can you guys see? I have to consider a contracting diagonal because wave 4 overlapped with 1, I think. Let me just make sure. Yes, it overlapped with 1, so I have to consider a contracting diagonal. And then for wave A, I have to consider flat targets. Just want to measure this out to make sure that I am not... yeah, that doesn't really make sense. B tapped the 1.618. Doesn't really make sense. It looks like this is still part of the same structure. Okay, I was just trying to figure out, guys, if this can be a 1. The correction for this one is done, and now it's building 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just continuing to the upside. Okay, so what does look better is perhaps that is the count for now, based on the current price action that I see at the moment. Okay, but now, most bullish case scenario is you have then wave 1. This can be wave 2. You have an A, B, C running flat. Or just a normal zigzag. A, B, C. Which is very rare to see this, okay? Because volume is increasing over here, okay? And then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not easy, not easy. Not easy, but there are some very interesting levels to watch, okay? Because if this is the end of the impulse, from a timing perspective, when I take a time from the low to the high, you can see that this low was made before the 0.382, which means that this can still be part of a larger corrective structure to correct this impulse. So shorts here to the upside do look interesting. Okay, so if that is a B, guys, I know this is getting more technical. I started off with simple stuff in the beginning and now it's getting a little bit more technical. Okay. Now that's basically where you want to see the rejection take place, is in this zone. Okay, I also want to see there's a different way in which you can get those levels there to the upside. Because now in this B wave, you also want to see a 3-wave structure. Okay, this B wave also needs to be a 3-wave structure. A, B, A, B, C inside of B. Okay, so I can measure that also in a different way to say that, well, from this low, let me just use the magnet here. From this low to the high to the low, swing that back to the upside, normal, there we go, extend right, take this one out the way, It would be nice to claim that 1-to-1 extension. So if price goes back up, where am I looking for the short? That's now the question. If price goes back up, I will look for a short at the 1-to-1 extension. Basically a swing failure. A little bit further up, the 1.236. because there's a chance that you remember that red line, okay, that will invalidate the fourth wave. There's a chance that the bulls are going to defend this level to create that impression that the price is still going to go and take the low. Okay, obviously I will be keeping an eye on the levels above as well, but then I know that there's a higher chance, okay, that I need to change my trade management. If price rejects here and not below the red line, then I know that the retracement could stop and turn around again, so I need to be more aggressive with profit taking. Okay, hope you guys are enjoying the technical analysis here on a Thursday afternoon. And for those, I just need to do a quick little announcement. Remember, guys, for those of you that are following me for a while and enjoy the technical analysis that I provide, I will not be here next week. This is my last live stream for the week, and then next week I'm on a break, and I'll be back on the 13th, 14th. I'll be back. Okay. But have no fear, Andy will be here. Okay. Right. Devil, you're a goat. Thank you so much. I'm just trying my best here to provide technical analysis based on what I see currently here on the structure. Okay. So from a shorting perspective, let me just switch on some levels. Daily level, weekly levels, monthly levels, point of controls. Let me just bring this back. I have no levels up until price gets to the monthly naked point of control. And by the way, this is a fresh monthly naked point of control that was formed during the month of June. Okay. So if price does not reject here, I'm very interested, because you all know what happened with this monthly naked point of control. Look at what happened here. Zoop. Okay, definitely a level I will be paying attention to for potential rejection. Okay, guys, I'm just going to take all the noise out here, out of the chart, and then I want to zoom out a little bit. And I want to look at the structure here quickly from a volume perspective. Okay, oof. Look at how that naked monthly point of control also aligns with the point of control of this entire range. So it's definitely an interesting shorting zone right over there. But that will invalidate a fifth wave to the downside, giving higher probability that price could go, if not up, at a bare minimum sideways. So what do I mean by that? Okay, if that fourth wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, gets invalidated over here, ka-ching, it gets invalidated because there's overlap, right? Best case scenario is price continues up. Worst case scenario is price goes sideways. Okay, but now I have to talk about another bearish case scenario, which I have spoken about on the higher time frame as well. Okay, where are interesting shorts in this zone? Obviously, the naked point of control. Okay, local support and resistance. There's my resistance here to the upside. So the next best area for potential rejection is, you can see how beautifully this has been respected. Resistance, okay, rejection. Rejection, resistance, that is where price got the rejection, fell to the downside, and now it's attempting to break out of this resistance. So the next area of resistance is at 60, let's call it $62,000, $61,000, 700, 800 zone. Okay, because this could be the front running zone before price gets here, because usually inside of a range, there's a lot of eyes on that level. And we all know what's happened in the past. Well, I know what's happened in the past. We've discussed it inside of live streams as well. The front running zone needs to happen here. Okay. Or it smashes through, and we've all seen that happen before, and it goes to the next area of resistance. Okay, which is at $63,500. It's very, very seldom where I see a lot of eyes on a specific level and price just beautifully rejects and does what it's supposed to do at that level. Usually when there's a lot of eyes on a level, price either front runs it or it breaks it. Because I can just imagine people putting limit orders there, because that's what happened. Do you guys remember during the previous range where price just smashed through it? Because that was one of the scenarios that we discussed, is to say that one of two things happens. It either front runs it, okay, that level, or it smashes it and it goes to the next area of resistance because there's too many eyes on that level. And what people typically do with a high confluence zone like that is they limit order the crap out of that trade, and then the market makers scare the living daylights out of them. Because I can just imagine if you go in there with a 100x limit order position, okay, I don't want to be in that. I don't want to be in that trade. Okay, price is currently struggling here at the moment, and what I want to do is there's also another way to measure the C wave from the low. Let's use some magnets here. From the low to the high of the structure, if this is forming an ABC to the upside. Okay, if this is a three-wave structure here to the upside, there's the levels that I'm keeping an eye on. Okay, 1 to 1 got a nice reaction, fell back to the downside. 1.236, that's where price is currently reacting, struggling to break that area of resistance. Next level, 1.382, where the front running could potentially happen. But make no mistake, we all know how powerful that 1.618 level is. Okay, if price does not reject here, I will still be looking for a rejection, looking for a reaction. Yes, it can smash this level, but I can be wrong and still make money with this move, because maybe it's a small little rejection. Maybe worst case, maybe what happens here is it taps it, finds support, and it continues. I can make money with that move, okay, based on the rejection, great risk management. And I mean, I've gone through that hundreds of times inside of these live streams, how I execute these swing failure patterns, especially the daily level that I took over there. That was done live inside of the YouTube live stream. Okay, this one happened, unfortunately, while I was sleeping. But when I saw this, okay, I just want to put an alarm. I just want to check something here quick. Now that 1-to-1 extension also lines up with a 1.382. So there's some nice Fibonacci confluence, but there's also, you know, from a simplicity perspective, there's resistance. You don't need to have any Fibonacci levels or any Elliott wave counts to tell you that price could reject in the zone, because it's resistance. Price came up, it rejected at resistance. Price falls down. Price can go up and reject. It's going to be it can be a small rejection for continuation, or it can be a bigger rejection. Who knows? But it's a trade worth taking for me if I see the reaction that I would like to see. Okay. So in simple terms, okay, it doesn't get simpler than this, guys. In simple terms, I'm looking for a short at resistance. That's what it basically boils down to. Then I can have my Fibonacci levels, my Elliott wave counts to support that a rejection could take place in that zone. And I can use my Fibonacci levels for a swing failure line so that I know which line to keep an eye on. Have my alarm set, look at the rejection at that level. So you guys can see, you can either keep it super simple, just waiting for a price to reject at resistance, or you can go super technical, like I like to do, okay, and watch for the reaction at those specific levels. Okay, simpler way, or simplest way that I think I could potentially trade this is to say that I'm looking for an entry in that zone. Stop goes at the naked point of control, and I want at least a 2 risk to reward trade. There we go. That's the trade that I'm looking for. Minimum requirements met. Okay. Which is basically back at support. Can you guys see? It's back at support. 2 risk to reward, beautiful trade. And that is a way more relaxing way to get into the trade. Right, but also something to note inside of where price is at the moment. Price has found acceptance back inside of the range. Price is back inside, baby. And when price gets back inside of the range, regardless of what happens inside of the range, okay, whether price goes up and down and circles up, you know, there's a good chance it's going to claim the high of the range again. If price is going to claim this low, typically what you would like to see from a range trading perspective is that price rejects at the point of control. It deviates below, it rejects at the point of control, and then it takes the low again. But now I've discussed the probabilities of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That doesn't really make sense. Okay. Also, from a timing perspective, if I take time into consideration from the top of the structure to the bottom of the structure over here, or here, now this would be very strange for price to, from a timing perspective. If this correction is correcting this entire impulse, it's too short. So price could form a larger 3-wave structure, reject at the value area high, then I would say, okay, now that makes sense to claim the low. Because this could be a wave 1, 2, forms a lower high, and then falls down in a 3rd wave. Or in a C, A, B, C, it doesn't matter, but a 3-wave structure. Okay. Remember guys, I do share from a personal perspective, my own personal trades, I do share inside of the community. And Andy is inside of the community today. And if you want to be part of the community, send me the word access. There's my Telegram, and I'll send you the instructions on how you can join. Simple as that. Okay, so let me go through some comments and then we can continue. I also need to take a bathroom break very shortly. Dum-dum-dum. I see more of an ending diagonal in the 30 minutes time frame. Yeah, that is a possibility. So this could be, I see what you are saying. Okay, let's see if this works. You have a 1, 2, let's say that is 3, 4, 5. And then you have you basically have this. That is definitely a scenario that could play out. Okay, and inside of this you have, oops guys, I did this wrong, I'll redo it now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dum-dum. Just having some fun. Right. That is definitely something that could play out as well, where the 5th wave basically ends in an ending diagonal. Something like this. Okay, right. You have a 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and then the 5th wave ends in an ending diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All structures inside of that structure, I'm not going to go into the 1 minute time frame to try and figure that out, but it is definitely something that could play out. Okay, but in all honesty, for me personally, I don't care how the structure ends. Whether this is a 1, 2, 3 and an ending diagonal, whether this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and this is part of an A, B, C, I don't care how the structure unfolds, I'm looking for a short in the same zone based on the resistance areas that I've highlighted. Okay. Dum-dum-dum. Let me go through some more comments. From where you drag the volume profile range, my point of control gets lower. Yes, Mark, it also depends on which exchange you use to do your analysis. If you use the Bybit pair, you'll get a different point of control. If you use Coinbase, it might be at a different place. Okay, I use Binance and I trade the chart in front of me. That's just a rule that I follow. Sometimes I will go to other charts like Bybit and Coinbase just to check point of controls. That's the for the daily ranges that I will sometimes check out. Okay, so it's not just from where you pull it from, it's also which exchange you use, because I take it from this consolidation area because price got into the consolidation area, so I include it as part of the range. Okay. And that point of control might differ if you, for example, go to the index chart, which I've now closed down. Okay, and you look at another chart, it might be at a different level. Right, legends, as price is pushing here to the upside, major area of resistance. I just want to see where's my local resistance. Here we go. Price is pushing here to the upside. And what I'm going to patiently just wait for is the 1.382. Do you guys see the 1 point? Let me make it nice and thick so everyone can see that. Let's use a line. There we go. And I'm going to put an alarm just below. When the alarm goes off, I'll pay attention and then I'll watch the reaction. If I don't like the reaction that I see, I'll skip the trade. If I like the reaction that I see, I'll enter the trade. Okay, so now I can carry on with my analysis until the alarm goes off. And that's the beauty about having alarms or alerts sit on the set on the chart, is because I don't have to stare at the chart the whole time. Okay, I can do my analysis, work out my plan, where I plan to short, long, whatever the case might be, set my alerts, and then go do other things. I don't have to stare at the chart the whole day. Okay, because also staring at the chart while you're in a trade can make you do stupid things. And I know you know what I'm talking about, because I've done those stupid things. You enter the most beautiful long. Okay, because you're staring at the candles, you're watching CVD, you're seeing something that you don't like, you chicken out of the trade, or you take profits too early, or you enter exit. That's happened to me in the past as well. Should I enter? Yeah, let me enter. Oh no, it looks weak. Okay, because maybe you're planning to take a long. Let me exit. Oh wait, it looks strong. Let me enter. And then you exit, and then with all the fees that you've paid, you're just like, oh my word, it doesn't even make the trade worth it anymore. I should have just left it. I should have just left the damn trade to play out. And I'm sure you've all been in that situation. Okay. Right. Also a big FG sitting around that 61k on the hourly. Fair value gap. Okay. On the hourly, fair value gap. Yeah, right. So after this drop, I'm not sure if this is what you mean. After this drop, price rejected here, which is now basically the next area of resistance. Okay, that's where I'm looking for the short. If price is not going to reject here, there's no price action there. So it could accelerate to the upside up until it hits the 1.618. So I do not want to trade in this zone. I want to trade the rejection. I want price to pierce through and start trading below so that I know where to put my stop loss. As long as price is in this zone, no trade for me. I'm not interested in a trade. But if price is below, then I'm interested, because I need to know where to put my stop loss and I need to trade the rejection. Okay. Legends, I just quickly need to take a break for 2 minutes. and then I'll be back. 2 minute. Oh, wait. Be back in 2 minutes. There we go. Be back in 2 minutes. Right, for those of you that join, people that join and they don't see anyone here. Okay, I'll be back in 2 minutes. Right, I'll leave you guys with some nice music here in the background.
When I glow from a silent screen, heart beat loud in the in-between. World asleep but my mind won't rest. Standing right on tomorrow's edge. Numbers fall and the candles shake. Every risk is a step I take. No applause and no safety net. Just a promise I haven't met. I've been down where the doubt is loud. I've been lost in the digital crowd. But the signal cuts through the noise and it pulls me now. I'm standing on tomorrow's edge. I jump anyway. No guarantees, but I'm on my way. If I fall, I rise. That's the game I play. Tomorrow's edge. I jump anyway. Late night glow from a silent screen. Heartbeat loud in the in-between. World asleep but my mind won't rest. Standing right on tomorrow's edge. Numbers fall and the candles shake. Every risk is a step I take. No applause and no safety net. Just a promise I have. I've been down with it loud. I've been lost in a digital crowd. But the signal cuts through the noise and it pulls me now. I'm standing on tomorrow's edge. I jump anyway. No guarantee.
Right, legends, remember to smash up that like button if you guys do enjoy the technical analysis. Let's just put the music a little bit softer here in the background. And alarm is about to go off, and then I'll see. Oh, I need to open up an exchange, I suppose. Let me just grab this down here. Maybe there'll be a nice little live trade inside of the stream. Let's see. I might just enter the trade the lazy way, but I'll discuss it now. Let me just open up my account over here. Which account shall we do? While price is not there, let me do this, boys and girls. I know there's girls in the live stream as well. Okay. Let me just leave you with some music. I just want to, it takes me a while to sign into my exchanges because I have 20 factor authentication on my exchanges. Is it going to reject? That is the question. Hopefully I can sign up or sign in time. Where's my phone? Oh, now I need to open up my email, put that code, two-factor authentication, put that code. Yeah, guys, it's sometimes a little bit of a mission to sign into these exchanges. But safety first. Am I in? Okay, I'm going to use my 2-bit account for this potential trade. There we go. I'm signed in. There we go. All good. All good. Mr. 2-bit, you came to the rescue. You got me in. Right, so let me put this here. This is the account that I'm going to use for this trade. And I might just make it a little bit of a lazy trade. Okay, so what I might do, I'm very aware of another bullish case scenario. What I might do is I could decide to trade it the lazy way, which is back in 2 minutes. The lazy way could be I enter a position, stop goes at the naked point, next area of resistance. That's basically how you trade, how I trade. Stop loss goes at the next area of resistance, and I want the trade to be at least a 2 risk to reward, because that's my minimum requirement. And you can also see resistance, value area low, resistance over here, a little bit further up, so I can get out before the police comes. So this could be a nice little lazy way to take this trade. SFP would be the reaction, stop goes above the high. That's a little bit more aggressive. But I do see from comments that a lot of people struggle with swing failure patterns. So I'm going to do it the lazy way over here. I'm very aware of being stopped out, guys, but that's why I manage my risk and my position size. Risk management and position size is the same thing. Okay, I'm not going to risk 50% of my capital over here, and if I get stopped out, okay, I have a hole in my account. No, I want to have a dent. I want to have a small dent, like a ding in my account. I don't want a hole in my account. Okay. That stop loss is 1.3% away, which means I can go in with 100% of my capital at 1x leverage. Or I can go in 10% of my capital at 10x leverage. And I will lose 1.3% of my portfolio. If you want to risk 2%, it's completely up to you guys. I can't dictate and subscribe how you guys need to manage your risk. Okay, I'm going to do this trade the lazy way. Price is heading into resistance. And yeah, it's a relaxing day. It's my last day here doing this live stream until the 14th or 13th. So I'm going to do a little bit of a relaxed trade over here. If I get stopped out, it is what it is. But I like to short resistance. Okay. Because when price hit this resistance, that was a nice little move to the downside. When price hit this resistance, well, that was a nice move to the downside. It hit it again, moved to the downside. So when price gets here, it's an interesting area for me to look for a short. But I'm managing my trade like a king. I'm managing this trade like a king because I'm aware that price could rocket. Maybe the structure is unfinished. Maybe it's building nested 1-2s. Most bullish case scenario is price is forming a 1-2, 1-2. Okay, and now is this a 1-2, it's building up a spring and it just starts accelerating to the upside. I do not want to be in the wrong side of the market and add. No. I'd rather take the knock and look for a fresh trade. Okay. So let's see how this unfolds. I have my exchange ready. I just want to make sure that I have so I'm going to go in with 9% because I only want to lose 1% of my capital at 10x leverage. And I want to go here onto the 15-minute time frame. And I'll set my stop loss and my TP and everything like that once the area is hit. Okay. Now, also something that I've noticed, I know guys, it looks like a mess. When I'm trading, it looks like a little bit of a mess. Okay. But also, if you have not noticed, alarm is about to go off. Nice little breakout here. I'm not sure if you guys noticed. Yeah, that's not the best one, but there, nice little breakout above the trend. This is bullish, guys, and this is why, you know, if you're shorting an uptrend, man, you need to have your ducks in order and your risk. For me, at least, I need to, okay, make sure that I don't blow a hole in my account. I don't want to be on the wrong side of the market and add to position, because most bullish case scenario is price is forming, okay, A, B, C, and it just goes and takes the high. I don't want to be liquidated. No account left to trade. No, that's not how I trade. I will take the knock. Very happily, I will take the knock. Okay, because this was some of the higher time frame scenarios that I wanted to discuss, is because this structure can be counted as a corrective structure. This can be a three-wave A, okay, A, B, C, and your A. This is your B. And now it's building that C here to the upside. I don't want to be on the wrong side of the market. But that's also not a zone. I cannot, for the love of me, long into a zone of resistance. No, the longs were further down. There was a couple of longs that you could have taken, and I want to discuss the long that I shared with the community yesterday. But now price is approaching an area of interest for a potential short. Okay, so let's see if price can get the rejection at resistance. Not that one, this one. Okay, let me swing this to the top. And then also, where was that FIP pool? There we go. Put that to the top. I could potentially just switch this off because all I need is the levels, right? So trade I'm looking for now, and I usually start off with a scalping mindset. Okay, I'm looking for a scalp, guys. I'm looking for that. Okay, maybe price pierces, falls down, but then it continues. Happy days. If I only get that, I'll be happy. Okay, because you'll see how I manage my risk if it does reject. If it does not reject, then 1% loss for me. Okay. Almost there. Let's see if it can reject. Let's go through some comment sections while we wait for that. At the gym, Mr. Dewald, I don't see you here, sir. You won't find me in the gym when there's people because there's not enough weights. Okay, I've got special keys. I go in when no one's there so that I have enough weights. Mr. A Trader. Price action likely flat into the US holiday weekend. Yeah, that could be. Went long at 58.6, 58.6, 58.6. Yeah, the breakout basically there. Okay, that was also the trade that I highlighted yesterday inside of the community. If you want to be part of the community, Andy is providing some analysis today. And then I will provide analysis tomorrow. So although I'm traveling and I'm going away, I will still be active inside of the community tomorrow. But it's going to be from the beach with a cocktail. Okay, maybe not a cocktail, a nice crispy beer. Okay, I'm a beer fan. So I will be spending my time tomorrow in the community from my holiday destination. Andy will do a YouTube live stream tomorrow. But if you want to be part of the community, send me the word access to my Telegram, and I'll send you the instructions on how you can join. Okay, because yesterday I missed the SFP because I was dreaming about my holiday. Okay, that was 3 o'clock in the morning. There's no ways, guys. The days of me trading throughout the night. Okay, I do set my alarms, but the mistake I usually make is I set my alarms, and then my alarms don't go off because I put my phone on flight mode when I go to bed. I don't like to be bothered while I'm sleeping. My sleep for me is extremely important. And then sometimes I remember not to put my phone on flight mode. Okay, but anyways, I missed it, guys. But from a day trading perspective, I don't care that I've missed the bottom, because I know there's another way to get in, which was over there. Okay, or more specifically over there. On the smaller time frames, there was a nice little trade over there that I highlighted yesterday in the community. If you don't want to miss out how I personally approach the markets from a trading perspective, okay, that happened inside of the community yesterday. I missed the move. I waited for the retracement. Okay, I knew that there was the chance for this to be an impulsive structure. Now that I'm waiting for price to get there, impulsive structure, 3-wave corrective structure, which means there's a chance for price to continue back up. And then I was just tracking these little bad boys, the breakouts. Where was it? I actually made a folder for it. There we go. Right. I'll pay attention once the alarm goes off, but for now it gives me something to talk about. I was tracking this one. Missed it. Okay, I missed that one, the breakout, and then I tracked that one, and then I posted an update in the community to say that, guys, I'm waiting for the trend to break, and the trend didn't break. It just kept on falling, grinding against the trend, but it kept on falling. And I said, if it doesn't break, no break, no trade. And then it broke over there. So then I knew exactly where to put my stop loss, and the rest is history. Okay, that was basically the trading setup. And then I posted an update in the community to say, guys, just, if you did take the trade, remember to take profits on the way up. Right, let's see. Now I can delete this alarm. Now we can pay attention. This little local structure that is forming here to the upside, this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It rejects, it continues, or it could be a larger rejection to the downside. Okay, but I want my level to get tapped. I need my level to get tapped. Okay, do not roll over on me now, Mr. Bitcoin. You need to go up a little bit more. And I'm very happy to miss a trade if my level doesn't get tapped. Very happy. I don't care. Because then I'll just look for the next trade. I don't have to FOMO into a trade. Oh, there's a 1-to-1 extension there as well. I'm going to see how it reacts at the 1-to-1 extension. Would be nice if it just a little bit higher, a little bit higher. Come on, Bitcoin, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it, Bitcoin. Okay, now close all of this. I do like that most of the volume is sitting in this move. Most of the volume, which means that the structure could be coming to an end. Could. Okay, that's why I have my risk management in place. I'm going to do a super chat of 20 RS. Hey bro, if price started to break 1 hour structure and even 4 hour structure, doesn't that mean more than likely reversal confirmed? Why hunting for shorts? Because it's a scalp. It's just a scalp, guys. Shorting an uptrend is you have no business shorting an uptrend if you don't know how to do it responsibly. It's better to look for longs, but I can't long the top of the structure here. Okay? It's just not my style of trading. I cannot look for longs here. 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 I need to long retracements. If price comes back down, then a long looks interesting. I can play the breakout. Nowhere to put my stop loss, and I join the momentum back up. But I cannot look for a long over here. That's just FOMO. Where do you put your stop loss? I can't trade like that. So what I'm basically looking for is that. I'm looking for that. That's what I'm looking for. It's a scalp. Okay. Price is heading into resistance, so it makes sense for me. If I wasn't along, that's a great profit taking area. Hint, hint. Great profit taking area. Because price is hitting resistance at the moment. Can you see the resistance? Also from I think a VRVP might make more sense over here. Price is heading into resistance here at the moment. Okay. So for me, it makes sense to look for shorts at resistance, not for longs. Yes, price can continue, but I'm just looking for a small little rejection. A nice little scalpy scalp here to the downside would be great to start my holiday. Okay. Oof, guys, I've now made a mess of this kitchen. I feel like the pressure cooker just exploded. No, off. There we go. Right. If you've joined the live stream a little bit late, you might not have context as to what I'm talking about. Why am I looking for a short? Okay. The area that the bears could potentially defend, because there's another possibility for fifth wave to the downside. So if you've joined a little bit late, you might not have context why I'm looking for this short. And it's just a scalp, guys. Okay. Can you push once more? It would be nice if you can push once more. But what I'm going to do here is, since I'm only going to risk 1% for this trade, what I'm going to... Yes, it would be nice to swing that high. Oof, that would actually be nice. Where is that high? It's a little bit further up. But I mean, I am going to put a little bit of a broader stop loss. So I'm going to go in with a short. I'm going to put my stop loss at 62,442, around about that zone. Okay. And TP, just to have a TP for now, we'll put the TP there, but it has to be a 2 risk to reward for me. Let's do this. Where is the short tool here? There we go. So this is basically what I'm looking at right now. It needs to be at least a 2 risk to reward. That's all I'm asking for. Okay. There we go. There's my trade. What I might do is, if price takes the high and rejects, I might add a little bit more to the position to drag my entry up. But that's basically my trading idea for now. Okay. I want to have a nice little relaxed trade, and because I know it could get a little bit choppy here to the upside for the SFP experts. I'm not in the mood for a SFP today. I want to take it a little bit more relaxed. There's a reaction. The reaction is there. Okay, because I know typically what I would have done is entered stop loss. Okay. And then for the SF swing failure experts, you know exactly how to trade this. But I know what could happen here is this, and then it does that. Okay, and then it rolls over. I don't want to do that today. I'm just going to have a little bit of a relaxed trade over here today. I know exactly where to put my stop loss. I know exactly why I'm entering, and I know exactly where I need to take profits. So I'm following the rules of my strategy. I have managed my position size, and what more can I ask for? I'm just a technical trader executing my trade as price is hitting resistance. And yes, I can be wrong, but that's why I managed my position size. I do like the reaction at the 1.382 for the moment. And it's basically just being relaxed. Okay, price is hitting resistance. It would be nice for price to actually claim this low. I'm not going to lie. That would be really nice for price to claim this high. And SFP from there. That would be great. Because I know there's a lot of liquidity above that high. So it would be nice to do, for price, to do this. That would be great. And then, yeah, at the high, right over there, I will add a little bit to my position. Not my entire account, guys. You know how I trade these. You know how I trade. Okay. Right. Remember, I'm simply sharing with you how I approach the markets, how I trade the markets. If you do not agree, if it doesn't fit your plan, if it doesn't make sense to you, please do not do what I'm doing. Don't. Okay, I'm doing this responsibly. Price is pushing up. The trend is your friend until the end, and it's usually best to trade with a trend, but I cannot look for a long. Yeah, I can't. It's against my trading rules. I cannot long, yeah. Because I need to answer my 3 W's. Why am I entering? Where is my stop loss? Where do I plan to take profits? And as part of this 3W structure, I need to manage my position size. And I need to make sure that my risk to, my risk to reward makes sense. So I need to tick all my boxes, 5 boxes already that I need to tick over there. Okay, so it's just a trade, that's all it is. And there will be a million trades after this trade. And I had a conversation with quite a couple of people in the past, is that the reason some people struggle is because every time they take a trade, they think it is the trade. It's never the trade, it's just a trade. And there's going to be 1,000 after that trade. There's going to be 1,000 other trades after that trade. Because if every trade is the trade, yeah, then how much are you risking? Right, let's see if price can take that high and reject. And then I will add a little bit more to that position. If you played this the SFP way, the swing failure way, you should be stopped out and you should be looking at a new level, or you wait for the rejection and get for price to get back below. Well, I shouldn't have to tell you that. It's devil dark side. Where are you going for holiday? I'm going to the ocean. I'm not going to say where, just now I have people harassing me. Not that I'm famous or anything, but yeah. Okay, guys, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add ever so slightly to this position. Ever so slightly. Okay. There we go. No, I'm happy. I'm happy now with what I've added. Yeah, I'm not adding any more to this position. So that's it. That's me. Price is currently getting a rejection from the local high over here. As you can see, price is currently getting the rejection. Now I wait. If price pulls back, okay, then I'll show you here on the live stream how I manage my risk even further. Okay, but now oof, that's definitely an SFP that I would have gotten into. But I'm trading the lazy way today. Let's go soul dumping again. If 61,800 go tough. I'm not sure. 50 more likes, legends. It would be 200 likes. That would be absolutely amazing if you guys can give that like button a gentle tap. Remember, Andy is inside of the community today. He's already shared some analysis. And then I will be in the community tomorrow and no live stream. Because when I'm in the community and Andy does live streams, I don't do live streams. Okay, so if you want to be part of the community, send me the word access. And there's my Telegram, and I'll send you the instructions on how you can join our community for free for 2 months. Okay, so let's see if this plays out. I am trading this the lazy way today, okay, but I'm still managing my risk like a king because I know that this can, I don't want to be on the wrong side of the market here. Shorting an uptrend, yeah, I do it responsibly, okay. I thought you were Andy. No, I am Deerwold. Andy did the live stream yesterday, and Andrew will do a live stream tomorrow. Okay. That's. Let me do this. Okay. Go to live. This is me, Deerwold, and that is Mr. Andy. Andy Deerwold. Deerwold, because I did a lot of live streams last week. Andy. Okay, so that's the handsome Andy, and this is the super sexy Deerwold. Okay. Super sexy Deerwold. Yes, super sexy Deerwold. Let's go. Right. And then we have a community as well. So the days where I do the live streams, Andy's inside of the community. And the day where Andy does the live streams, then I'm inside of the community. And this is how this trade was highlighted yesterday. Okay, this little long over here, it was on the 5, I think it was the 5 or 3 minute time frame, but this was the long yesterday. Okay, I'm sure the community members remember. This is where I got interested in the long, and I posted it. I said, "Ooh, this looks interesting." Okay, price was chopping here at the trend. I was like, okay, it's not breaking out. It's not breaking and leaving 5 minute candles behind. I thought that this low could hold for breakout over here. And I said, I'm not entering until it breaks out. Okay, and then this is where the breakout happened. Stop goes below the low, breakout, ka-ching to the upside. Also, you could have adjusted that trend. Okay, so in hindsight, I always go back and say, well, if you missed it, let's say I missed this trade, I can still get in here. Enter a position, stop goes below the low, you target the highs. Risk to reward needs to make sense. I need to answer my 3 Ws. I need to manage my risk. Okay, and then it just flew here to the upside because I knew after the SFP here at the daily level, at the monthly naked point of control, because I was sleeping and I missed this entire move, damn it, it would have been a beautiful move, and it was such a beautiful SFP. I love these SFPs that just leave a wick behind. You know exactly where to put that stop loss, get in. I mean, if myself and Andy have not told a million times how to trade that successfully, Okay, I don't know what we're doing here on YouTube, okay, because I've even demonstrated it live so many times. But then I saw the corrective structure and I was like, as long as this remains a three-wave structure, I'm looking for a long. Okay, long or long. Stop goes below the low. Blast off to the upside. You at least take profits at the highs because look at the consolidation at the highs. And that was highlighted yesterday in the community. Ooh, nice, nice. Noise. So what I'm going to do now, should I not? I'm already a little bit in profits. So the thing that I can do now, legends, is I can de-risk this position, but I'm just going to let the trade play out. I'm just going to leave it. I think what I'll do is I'm going to take profits. Yeah, because I'm trying to now apply a swing failure strategy here. So I'm just going to leave it for now because I don't want to get chopped out of this trade and then it rolls over. Okay, I'm just going to leave this to play out. I'm happy with the risk that I've applied over here. How do you de-risk? You take profits or you move your stop loss. That's how you de-risk. But I'm going to let this trade play out. Just for the fun of the live stream, because I don't want to get wicked out of a position and then it moves down anyways. I'm happy with the risk in the position size. That's what I was planning to risk for this trade. If it falls, yeah. If price falls, yeah. What I will then do is if price gets here, I will move my stop loss down, de-risk, and I will take some profits. That's my plan. So by taking profits and moving my stop loss, I'm de-risking my position. Okay. Are you using logarithmic chart or just basic chart? For higher time frames, I use logarithmic, and for 15-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, I use a regular. Okay, yeah, on the regular. I trade mostly 99.9% of the time. I trade the regular chart, but when I do higher time frame analysis, I would say 8 hours and up, I use logarithmic. Where's the comments now? Let me get that back. Where will be your TP? Okay, I've explained that. Nico Lapo. You guys have long usernames. Okay, I've already explained that just now. Okay. I got wicked out. Yeah, Mohammed, that's when you play SFPs, I know it takes persistence, and I just don't. I'm not in the mood for an SFP trade today because usually I'm focused. Okay, I'm entering, I get stopped out, I enter again, I get stopped out, and mostly I actually get stopped out at break even and with a little bit of profit. But I can be very persistent when I snipe a swing failure strategy. But I want to take a little bit of a relaxed trade today because when I do play SFPs, I can be more aggressive because look at the difference. Okay, if this was my SFP trade, I have a 0.089% stop loss, which means I can even go in 500x. I can be more aggressive with my position size and still only lose 1%. And maybe I'm targeting the lows. Risk to reward is amazing. So it's great to play a swing failure trade, but they take, for me personally, they take persistence. Because if I entered here with an SFP, with my stop above the high, that little drop, I would have already taken profits and de-risked my position. But I did say I'm going to take this trade a little bit more relaxing today. A little bit of a more relaxed trade. But now, because I'm taking a little bit of a more relaxed trade, Okay. I have a bigger stop loss. Okay. I have a much bigger stop loss. My stop loss is that where I put my stop loss? No, my stop loss needs to go here. 62442. 62442. 62442. Okay, that is at the right place at least. Now, because I have a 1% stop loss, I can't be aggressive with my position size. So I can only go in with 100% of my capital at 1x leverage. If I want to risk 2%, I can go in with 100% of my capital at 2x leverage. Max I will ever risk, not ever, but mostly, the max I will mostly risk is 3%. So it's 100% of my capital at 3x leverage. And then once every second month, maybe if I'm lucky, once a month, our opportunity comes past where I will risk 5%. But it has to be a high confidence trade where the planets align and everything just makes sense before I will go in with that much. But it's usually between 1 and 3%. Mostly, most of my trades is 1% trades. Okay. But it is way more relaxing to trade this way. It's less stressful. Okay, I don't make as much money because I can be way more aggressive with an SFP. I don't make as much money, but money is money at the end of the day. Price does not want to reject there, guys. It just looks like it wants to follow through. Okay, it's back below the low again. Back below the high, sorry. So I might get stopped out of this one because it's actually showing some signs of strength. Let's see if it can just keep below the high. If it can just keep below this high, which is now, it's fine. It's keeping below the high. So stay there. Stay there. Maybe it was just a little flush there to the upside. And this is why I want to trade this one a little bit more relaxed, because I'm very aware that this can get wiki to the upside. I don't want to enter, exit, get stopped out. Remember, nothing's ever guaranteed in the market. There's a good chance that price just goes and stops me out. Ching! But that's why I'm managing my position size. That's why I'm, risking what I want, what I want to risk over here. Biggest area of resistance, because price is at resistance. It's actually above, slightly above resistance. It looks like it does not want to stop. Let's see. Price is above resistance. So it could continue until it hits the next area of resistance. I must say, there's not a lot of, let me see here, there's not a lot of volume with this push here to the upside. So there's a chance it can still reject. Okay, when price slices through resistance, I usually want to see that. And it's just, the volume is not there. So maybe it's just chopping here and it's going to roll over. Let's see. Does a C wave in the potential flat have to be a 5-wave structure? Yes. All C waves are 5-wave structures. It can be an ending diagonal. It can be a nested 1-2s. It can be a normal impulse. So basically a C wave, let me just grab some space here, has to be a 5-wave structure. Let me do this. I love it when people ask me educational questions. So it's either an impulse, 4 not allowed to overlap with 1, so normal impulse. Usually the third wave carries the highest amount of volume. It's the longest, aggressive. Or it can do this. This is such a bad. Can do this. It forms a diagonal. Contracting. Ending diagonal. But then all structures has to be 3-wave structures. 3-wave, 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 3-wave. See, done. We can all see that it's not this. Okay, it's not this one. It's most probably the impulsive one that's happening right now. Or it's nested 1-2s. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. So it does that. Which is also an impulsive structure. It's just more aggressive. So let's see if this trade is going to play out. Price just needs to remain below that high, and then the bears have a little chance over here. Okay. Remember guys, for me this is just another trade. This is not the trade. Because when you label a trade the trade, that's usually dangerous. Because that usually means, okay, you're going in high, heavy, risking it to get the biscuit. I don't trade like that, guys. Okay, I don't trade like that. I already went in a little bit heavy with this position. Still not even 2%. Okay, if I get stopped out, my stop loss is $900. My stop loss is $900. Okay. And it's a 60, let's just call it a round number. It's a $60,000 account. So it's less than 2% of my account. Or it's 2%. 60,600 is 1%. It's just, oh yeah, it's less than 2%. $1,200 will be 2% of my account. And that's this account. This is one of my play accounts. This is the account where I want to take chances. This is the account that I want to be a little bit more aggressive, but I'm still struggling to be aggressive because risk management is so ingrained in my veins. Because I know it's risk management that keeps me in the game. I don't want to put more money into this account. Okay, I want to make this a profitable account. So I'm already being a little bit aggressive with this account. I got SL. That's a little bit wickier, and this is why Oof, what a username. This is why I decided to trade this the relaxing way. And just, you know, because I know that this can get wicky. If this is the end of a potential structure, towards that top of the structure, it usually gets wicky to the upside. And this is why I decided to trade this a little bit more relaxed. My SL was $62,000, $62, or do you mean you only lost 62, or it was at $62,000 where your stop loss was? Yeah, because now price is pushing up. Guys, this can get follow through here to the upside. It's not rejecting at the high. It's getting follow through. But like I said, I'm going to let this trade play out. It's less than 2%, which is small. I can trade that back very easily if it doesn't reject. But no, man, oh man, if you are risking 20, 30, 40% of your portfolio with a trade like this, I don't want to be you. I used to be you. And I used to do that, but not anymore. Not anymore. Because I know small little wins compound, and then by the end of the month, I smile. I'm happy with the profits that I've made. But when you're risking 10, 20, 30, 40% of your account with a trade, that's usually when you have the mindset of this is the trade. No. I used to, you know, one thing I can say about myself and Andy is that we hammer on risk management. We really hammer on risk management. Hey bro, if price started to break 1 hour structure and even 4 hour structure, doesn't that mean more than likely reversal confirmed? Why hunting for shorts? Mr. Island, you've already asked me this. And I've already read your comment and I've responded to it. How do you know where to take TPs? When price hits resistance or support. If I'm taking a short, I'm looking for price to hit support. So if I zoom into the 5-minute time frame here, okay, I can see just looking at price action where support is. Okay, there's support. Look at the consolidation area. That is support. So if price comes down, it's a TP area for me because price broke out. Look at how it struggled. It struggled to break through this resistance. Now it broke out and it could flip it into a RS flip. It flips a resistance into support. So that's definitely a profit taking area for me. So that automatically becomes my TP1. Just want to check something here. Volume is increasing. I'm just thinking of the most bullish case scenario. I have to consider nested 1-2s. Okay. Yeah, it would have to be some sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Zigzag corrective structure. Very ugly. Okay, that's a very short correction for this impulse. It doesn't make sense from a timing perspective. Yeah, not even before the 382. Most bullish case scenario is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, and then this entire structure is wave 1, 2, and it's now building a 3, 4, 5. Most in bullish structure, or it's nested 1-2s. So if it's going to get follow through, it could accelerate here to the upside in a larger 5-wave structure where wave 1 is already complete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But often these aggressive impulsive structures to the upside only starts making sense once the biggest move has happened. And you know, and that's obvious. It is the best technical analysts can only analyze the price that they see in front of them. So based on the structure that I see in front of me, the count that for the moment makes the most sense is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correction. Okay, or A, B, C. I just want to see if that 0.6 or that 1.618 got claimed. Do I still have that FIB level? A, 3-wave B. Anyways, just want to get the level here. Did the 1.618 get claimed? No, not yet. So this can still be a flat. This is the one that actually makes the most sense based on the current price action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. That's the one that makes the most sense at the moment based on current price action. But the most bullish case scenario could still unfold. Okay, and it's only going to make sense in hindsight. If price accelerates here to the upside, then we can look at the structure and say, okay, but then volume also needs to increase. You want to see an increase in volume with this momentum to the upside. Then we can say, okay, that was a 1, that was a 2, that's a 3. Now I'm waiting for the 4 and the 5, and I'm looking for a new short. You can even play the breakout here if you want to play the little fifth wave there to the upside. I'm not really looking for longs in that zone anymore. Okay. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, or it's the fifth wave in the ending diagonal. 1, 2, 3. And then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Five. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inside of an ending diagonal. This scenario also has an invalidation. If this is the scenario, invalidation for the scenario. Invalidation. Okay, if this is an ending diagonal in the fifth wave. So basically I'm looking at a 1, 2, 3, 4 ending diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Invalidation is $62,000, 459. Okay, price is struggling here by that high, so let's see if it gets the rejection. Also, by the way, the 0.618 is a fifth wave target in an ending diagonal, and the 786. So maybe it rejects here or it rejects there. Only time will tell. But I'm trading this the relaxing way, because this could also be, remember guys, there's just so much that can happen over here. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, did that wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ending diagonal. Or this is a 1. This is a 2. And it continues in a third wave. This is why I have my risk management in place. I don't want to be on the wrong side of the market, but I know that the structure could be coming to an end. It is still chopping this high at the moment, which is the area of resistance. Okay, chopping that high. How's this trade doing? I'm still in the red in this trade. But I'm not adding more to this position. This is my plan. I will definitely take profits. TP1 for me is at $61,000, 200 give or take. But that basically TP1, TP2. Okay. Right. Remember guys, if you want more of this technical analysis, how I approach the market, I do share how I personally approach the markets inside of the community. And I actually have not checked what Andy is up to inside of the community today. I will go and check that out later. Okay, I'm not sure if Andy also highlighted this little sniper short over here. I'm not sure. Okay, or he's maybe looking at a different area or a different scenario. I don't know. I broke my rule and took a loss. You broke your rule. I'm not sure how you broke your rule. Could this play as accumulation in the zone around the local high? It could. It could. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. A, B, C. You see, the only other thing I can consider here is it's just not pretty. Huh? It's really not pretty. It's a 1, 2. This is a 3, and this is a 4, and that's a 5. Problem is, I know the Elliott wave counters are going to tell me this B tapped the 1.618, which is a soft invalidation. It's not a hard, it's not an official validation. Okay, A, B, C, and now this is starting, and then this is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, either in an ending diagonal in your fifth wave. But then, yeah, the most bullish case scenario, I'm not going to use the Elliott wave tool to do this, it just takes too long, is 1, 2. Okay, you have another 1, 2, and that could be a flat, another 1, 2, and this just continues up, and you have nested 1, 2s here, and it just accelerates to the upside. But yeah, let's see how this plays out. Guys, you can get analysis paralysis, over analyzing the chart. Okay, and this is why I'm sticking to my trade. I've planned that trade. It was resistance. I knew exactly where I wanted to add to the trade. I know exactly where my stop loss is. I know exactly where I want to take profits. I'm not going to keep on analyzing the structure of what could and what if and what shouldn't and what might be. I'm just sticking to my plan. I'm leaving my trade, just leaving it. Okay, hey Devil, if this is a fifth wave ending and I'm looking to add to my long from the monthly point of control low, what levels would you suggest I keep an eye on? Okay, that's a good question. Delete that, delete that, delete that. Right, obviously from a simplicity perspective is I always take my fib from the low to the high. So let's say, for argument's sake, this is now the local high over here. I mean, I don't have more price action. That's the only structure. Okay. Then Fibonacci level, well, the zone where you're looking for wave 2 is basically, that's your zone where you're looking for a bounce. I know it's a big zone, right? But now you can go look for some confluence. So what I would do is to say that, okay, well, this was a nice little range. Okay, let's do it from here. This is a nice little range. So 0.382 confluence with the value area high. But the point of control is usually where the most amount of volume was traded looks the most interesting. So this zone, okay, looks the most interesting for a bounce because it has the highest amount of volume. So you go and you look for confluence. Then you can go and switch on your daily levels, weekly levels, see if you have other levels there that can build another layer of confluence where you're potentially looking for a bounce. Now then the daily level. And now you can also decide, well, what type of strategy do you want to play? Are you going to wait for a breakout strategy? Because then you don't care where the bounce is going to be. But if you're going to play an SFP, you can pay attention to this zone for an SFP. If price comes down, SFP, you know where to put your stop loss. Okay. Next zone, value area low, daily level, 786, next zone. So I will have 2 attempts over here from an SFP perspective. Or you wait for the breakout. You wait wherever that breakout takes place, but it needs to form a trend. And you play the breakout. It's the same thing with this structure here to the upside. You could also say, well, I'm not going to play the short until it breaks down. You could say, okay, you have a trend, aggressive, I might add, aggressive trend here to the upside. So I'm only going to consider a short if it breaks, loses the trend, retest, maybe it comes back down. So that's where you're looking for the short. You're not shorting here. You're waiting for the trend to break. You could also do channels. Just depends on your style of trading. Take this out the way. Let's just clean up the kitchen. Channels I like to do with magnets or with a magnet. Ka-ching. Okay. And then depends on how you trade channels. I don't know, but usually when price comes back down and it taps the bottom of the channel, which is basically this trend, and it breaks down, okay, this is your shorting zone. Stop goes above the high. You're targeting the low. And obviously you take profits on the way, well, I take profits on the way down as price is hitting resistance to the downside. Yeah, but now this is the bullish case scenario based on this channel that I've drawn over here. Based on this channel that I've drawn over here, as long as price is above the channel, the bulls are in control. This is why this short is so risky if you don't know what you are doing and you can't do it responsibly. Remember guys, this short that I've entered, okay, I'm not going to go through everything again. It's well managed. Okay, I know that I'm trading against the trend. I know. And this is why I'm managing it properly. This is also why I'm not going in heavy. Doesn't look like price wants to slow down for the moment. Let's see. This is going to take this might be a trade that's going to take a while to play out. Maybe a couple of hours. Okay. But volume is decreasing here for the moment. Okay. Here on the 15-minute time frame, the highest amount of volume still sits in that move, which means that this structure could be running out of steam based on current price action. If it wants to continue in that 1, 2, 3, 4, then I want to see volume increasing. Then I'm happy to be stopped out of the short, and again, then I know where to look for the next short, because I'm going to have to wait for the structure to repeat itself. Okay, this mess basically has to repeat itself here to the upside. I want to see the same mess. I want to see that mess. Yeah. And then the double tops, triple tops looks interesting for shorts. D-line, yes, D-line. There was a lot of D-lines here, guys. I'm not sure who paid attention. Okay, I also saw a couple of D-lines this morning or today. If you go into the 5-minute time frame, this one I would have definitely taken. This one is the one that I would have taken. Beautiful retest, continuation to the upside. Okay, that one I would have definitely played. This one, I don't think I would have taken it. That one, it's too steep. Yes, I would have missed out, but it's a difficult trend for me to play these ones. I can already tell you which ones I would have taken and would have not. I would not have taken that one. I would not have played that one. That one, yes, I would have played it. Beautiful breakout, retest, continuation. Nice trend, nice structure, nice wavy structure. I love these ones. Too steep, too shallow. The degree is too shallow for me. This one I took yesterday. But this one I literally got in and out, guys. I didn't want to leave a runner. No, that's just the way that I planned to trade. Got in over here. There was another one. If you missed that one, you could have gotten in over there. And then price hit the highs. I left a little bit of a runner, and it was around about, was it 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night? Yeah, in this zone. I closed my trade and I went to bed. Yeah, closed my trade, went to bed. Also, I don't want to have trades open during my holiday. So I'm basically, the way that I'm trading now is I get in and I get out. I don't want to have open trades during my holiday because I know what happens. When I have an open trade during my holidays, then I don't want to look at the charts. When I have no trades open, I don't care what the charts are doing because I know myself well enough. There's going to be those moments where I go to the bathroom and be like, I wonder what Bitcoin is doing. I wonder how that trade is doing. No, that's why I just want to get in, get out. And then when I come back on the 13th, when I come back, then I'll have running trades again. But for now, I just want to get in and get out. Make some money for the holiday. Okay. This little move here to the upside from yesterday has paid for my holiday. That little trade over there, where I closed it over here, that paid for my holiday. So I'm happy now. I'm not going to stuff it up. Thanks a lot, Devil. Sunshine 6521. Absolute pleasure. D line. Yes. The D line. Sol, let's go and look at Solana. Solana is, well, it looks like it wants to come to an end, but guys, the reason I don't like to trade, day trade altcoins is because they do not respect daily, weekly levels. Okay. Naked point of controls. They don't. They typically create failed auctions above that level. The only strategy that makes sense for me to trade on altcoins is the D-line strategy. I don't like to play SFP strategies on altcoins. I don't like it. I've tried and I failed miserably. It doesn't respect levels the way that Bitcoin does. And this is why I do most of my trading on Bitcoin, because it respects my levels. Okay, so from a D-line strategy perspective, for me, there's nothing to do here on Solana. There's nothing to do. Volume is there's still a high amount of volume in this move here to the upside, which means that can still be part of a wave 3. So which means it can still continue and chop to the upside. So for me, I cannot short that unless you are sneaky and you go onto the 1 minute time frame and you're playing the breakdowns using the D-line strategy. Yeah, there's nothing to do here on Solana for me personally. For now, volume is in the highest move here. That's the highest amount of volume, which could be a 1 2 1 2, and it's starting to accelerate in a 3 4 5 4 5 here to the upside. I cannot short that. Okay, resistance is slightly above. That's where I can get interested in a short. Why did I make that resistance? I just want to figure out, why did I make that resistance? Yeah. Now I know. It's actually there. Solana is... could be flip, doing a little bit of a RS flip over here, but yeah, there's nothing for me to do here unless, well, again, that's a swing failure strategy. Okay. Also, the movement down looks like a 3-wave structure. This movement down looks like a 3-wave structure, which means it can claim that high. So maybe this is a 1 2 3 4 5, claims the high, and then it gets a rejection correction where I will be looking for the long. Now that looks more interesting. Once I see a 5-wave structure up, that area looks interesting for a long on Solana. I cannot do anything there. There's nothing for me to do there. Nothing. I have to see a 5-wave structure up first, and then I needed to retrace. Okay, because this could also be an A, B, C. Anyways, I guess the point that I'm trying to make here on Solana is there's nothing for me to do here. Not even on the smaller time frame. Momentum is up. It broke. Here was your longing opportunity. If you did not long there, you could have longed there. If you did not long there, you could have longed there. The retest. Stop goes above the low. You build your position. Okay, that's you're targeting the high. Stop goes below the low. Maybe you enter 1%, 1%, 1%, okay, as it comes nearer to your invalidation, and now there's nothing to do. You're hitting resistance. Well, that's a profit-taking area for the long. That's a profit-taking area. But I can't do so. Based on my trading strategies, I have no business trading that zone. You should already be positioned. Hope that makes sense. Well, for me, I can only share with you how I approach the markets. Now, this was a nice little short that I spoke about the last time. That was a nice little short where it breaks down. It breaks down. Stop goes above the high. Okay, you take profits when price hits resistance. That could have been a TP1, protect position, however you wanted to manage your trade. There was a nice little breakout. This is not an easy one. Literally a straight line. Okay, breaks out, retest, continuation here to the upside. Breakout, and there's nothing for me to do here unless it forms a larger trend. Okay, if price continues to roll down here and it forms a nice trend, then I can play the breakout. But this is not enough for me to do anything. Unless you just want to short and put your stop above the high. It's not a clear plan for me. It doesn't answer the middle W for me. Why are you entering the trade? Because it looks like it's rolling over? I don't know. It looks like it. It's not a good enough reason for me to take this trade. Okay, what is Bitcoin doing here? Still pushing up here. Okay, I was also looking at USDT dominance here on the weekly time frame. It looks like bullish, right? So maybe it's flipped this area of resistance, struggling to break out. It finally broke out, so it could chop above, flipping this into support and continue momentum to the upside. So it still does not look great for Bitcoin at the moment when I look at USDT dominance, because remember, dominance goes up, crypto goes down. Dominance goes down, crypto goes up. DEXI looks like it's also finding strength. It's doing a RS flip here at the moment. This could be the retest. You can see beautiful support. Lost it, resistance, and now it looks like it wants to break out, flip it into support for continuation, maybe to this trend. So it still doesn't look great for the crypto space. But remember, guys, these are larger time frames. This is daily, weekly time frames over here. Okay, so there's maybe still a little bit more upwards momentum here for Bitcoin on the smaller time frames. Hi Devil, do you ever look at or ETH or other coins for confluence in structure? Do you use CVD real time while trading? Yes, the only indicator that I use is CVD, but I do not look at like the DEXI and XRP and not altcoins, the DEXI, or Total 3, Total 2, whatever the other people look at, S&P 500, commodities. I do not look at any other tokens to trade Bitcoin. No, that's not how I do things. I trade the chart in front of me. The others will follow. Okay, I see an area of interest. I execute my trade with precision, with great risk management and position size. and I don't have to look at anything else to make a trading decision on Bitcoin. I used to, and I think a lot of community members know why. I used to analyze 10 charts just to take one trade on Bitcoin. And then a very experienced trader, which I will not name because you guys might know him, told me, Dewald, what on earth are you doing? Why are you spending 3, 4, 5 hours a day analyzing 10 charts so you can take one trade on Bitcoin? What are you doing? And he told me, just trade the chart in front of you. Everything else will follow. But don't analyze 10 things to take one trade on. No, just execute your trading strategy. That's all you do. So I used to make a lot of work for myself, and now I feel like I am not working as hard to take a trade because I'm just trading the chart in front of me. Would you move your SL above the invalidation level? I've already planned this trade. I'm leaving it to play out. I'm not executing a swing failure strategy on this trade. I'm placing my stop loss at the next area of resistance, and let's see if it plays out. That's all I'm doing. Thanks a lot, Devil Sunshine. Absolute pleasure. Okay, consolidation at the highs. Bullish. Could also be bearish, because I remember a consolidation like this. I remember this. Almost like it was yesterday. Do you guys remember this? I'm not saying it can't play out or it's going to play out, but I remember this. Oh, I have to go look for that high. Was it this one? And just wait for this to load up. Or was it that one? I think it was this one. I think it was this one. It's just I lose my space. Sorry guys, just one thing that TradingView needs to fix is that if I'm on the larger time frame, I'll just wait for this to load up. Now it doesn't. I've confused it, but I can close all these other things. Okay, Dexia I don't need. USDT I don't need. Yeah, and you see, I remember it. Yeah. One thing that TradingView can really improve on is when I'm on the larger time frame, like the 1 hour, and I just want to look at that structure on the 5-minute time frame. Why can't it just give me a function to say click 5 minutes and it zooms into that structure? But you completely lose yourself when you try and zoom into the smaller time frames. But basically, if you go into the 5-minute, 1 minute time frame and you look at that structure, it reminds me of what I'm seeing now. That little move there. So it can still get choppy. You'll see there in the 5-minute time frame, it chop to the upside. Okay, so let's see. See, it keeps on chopping the high. 15-minute looks like it wants to roll over. Not that I use the RSI to trade with. It's just interesting to look at. Another layer of confluence, I suppose. Let's go here back onto the comments. Love watching your videos. Crypto Decker. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks, Devil. Sorry, how do you use CVD? Oh, that's going to be a whole video just by itself. Okay. But I have not actually looked at CVD, so let's go and have a look at CVD. Very neutral. It's pointing out bullish CVD for some reason. Just want to refresh it. Oh, it's pointing out bullish CVD based on the yellow line. So let's just switch everything off here. There's bullish CVD forming on the Bybit. The Bybit bros are shorting like crazy here at the moment, but everything else is neutral. A little bit of bullish CVD on blue, but basically the principle of CVD is price makes, let me find an example over here. Price makes a lower high, okay, falls down, makes a lower high, and CVD makes a higher high. And I'm just trying to see, maybe it was the yellow line. Oops. Yeah, there we go. So price makes a lower high, I'm just trying to find a good example here because that one was not so pretty. Oh, it was the orange one, that's why. Okay, let's try again. Sorry, this is taking a while. Price falls, forms a lower high, but CVD, if you go take it down, forms a higher. So it does the opposite. Lower high, higher high. Target is the low, it takes it. If price forms a higher low and CVD forms lower lows, okay, target, hit every time. Okay, so basically that's the difference between bullish and bearish CVD. So if price falls down here and against these two pivots, CVD just whoops falls down and it makes a lower low, a higher low, then it means it's bullish, the target is the high. That's basically how you read CVD. Yes, it's also the bull moon, and that's why we're getting this nice momentum to the upside. Right, the previous bull moon, it was a disaster. But what are the odds of two bull moons getting invalidated after each other? Very low, very low. It's there, but it's very low because this indicator is 74% accurate. So this previous bull moon was very disappointing. It just fell to the downside. But look at how beautifully the bear moon printed. And it just fell. And now the bull moon printed where you want to expect a little bit of upwards momentum. Bull moon, up. Bull moon, up. Bull moon, up. Bear moon, down. 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 So there's a chance that price could get upwards momentum until the next bear moon prints. And then maybe down again. We'll see. Or it forms a consolidation area. But yes, this bull moon is playing out pretty nice so far. Okay, because this one was very disappointing. Very disappointing. But then you also have to consider the odds. If the indicator is 74% accurate, what is the odds of two bull moons failing next to each other? Very low. Put some music on there. Remember to smash up that like button if you haven't done so already. For the technical analysis, tomorrow I will be inside of the community providing updates. For the community members, I might be a little bit late tomorrow inside of the community because I'll still be traveling. But as soon as I get to my destination, I will switch on my laptop, analyze the charts, and provide some updates. Okay. And hopefully we can catch a last little trade together because next week I will not be active at all. Okay, Andy will be inside of the live stream, but if you want to join the community, send me the word access to my Telegram, and I'll send you the instructions on how you can join. One of the ways in which you can get 2 months for free inside of the community is signing up with one of the exchange partner links below, making a minimum deposit of $500, which is your money to trade with or withdraw, whatever you want to do. And I'll give you 2 months free access. Okay, but once you've signed up here, guys, you need to still send me the word access to my Telegram. Or you can just send me the word access to my Telegram and I'll send you the instructions on how you can get 2 months for free. Okay, finally this trade is back in profits. Finally, just waited. Okay, but what I'm going to do here now, guys, now I'm going to stick to my rules. I'm going to stick to my plan. Wait, I'm going to stick to my plan. Just going to stick to the plan. What's this indicator, please? It's called cumulative volume delta. If you want access to this indicator and a lot more, economic calendar, CVD, fear and greed, calculators, heat maps, bubbles, liquidations. Oh, there's a lot of stuff here, guys. It's the link down here. Here's the link in the YouTube, in this video, the YouTube description, free tools. There's the link to access it. Okay, that's how you access it. Right. I shorted, took my 2 to risk to reward, and ran. Lol. Thanks, brother. Absolute pleasure, man. Pleasure. As long as you execute your plan. I love it when people tell me, Dewald, I took profits. I protected my position. It's like music to my ears. Great. I usually get a little bit nervous when someone sends me a message and says, Dewald, I'm building a position. I'm like, oh God, where are you building this position? How much are you adding to that position? Do you have an invalidation? Are you going to respect your invalidation? Those are usually the conversations that makes me a little bit nervous when people tell me they're building a position. Any of those platforms you can recommend for a fellow South African? Yes, Bluffin is one of my favorites. Bluffin, one of my favorites. 2-bit as well. I really enjoy 2-bit as well. But Bluffin, and it's in my it's in the number of how much I like them, but I like all of them. I've got money on all of these accounts. Okay, Bluffin number 1, 2-bit number 2, Weeks number 3, and these are the exchanges that I personally trade my money inside of. Okay, Bluffin being number 1, and that is also where I have my largest trading account at the moment. And I am from South Africa. Those are the exchanges that I use. I see, unless you use VPNs, of course. Okay, I can't tell people what they need to do, but I see that Bybit got blocked. Couple of months ago I wanted to sign into my Bybit account and I couldn't. Got blocked. Not that I have money in there any, thank goodness I don't have money in there anymore, unless unless you use a VPN, of course. But I mean, yeah, any of those platforms. Okay, I've gone through that. Hi Dewald, how to trade day, point of control, long or short? I'm a beginner. Oh, that's going to be a discussion for another day. That's going to be, I'm almost wrapping up this live stream over here. And right, guys, thank you so much for joining this live stream. I wanted to push it a little bit longer, but I've got things to do, people to meet, places to see. Right, have yourselves an amazing day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to smash up that like button, hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed for future notifications. I will see the community tomorrow inside of the community, and I will only see you again on the 14th or the 13th of July. So trade safe. Until then, cheers for now.